sparkly.
I'm bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life.
And crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.
This is the men's room.
Get it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The trippers, the grasshoppers, the hip ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
We say hello to our friends jumping on Rock 100.5 The Cat in Oklahoma City, the legendary rock station, also 94.7 KZND, Alaska's rock alternative, and Portland's classic rock 92.3 KGON. Big show for you today. Bad jokes coming up, the exciting return of Ted versus the FCC. Of course, we'll drink and toast with a shot and another round to profile this. And today we talk about money. And as far as money goes, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? On Saturday, the University of Alabama was playing the University of Louisiana Lafayette in college football.
We gonna get our ass kicked today, boys.
Alabama was a minus 99,000 favorite to win, which is about as skewed of a line as you'll ever see. But someone at Sportsbook in Vegas actually put a $1,579 bet on Alabama to win. And how much did he earn when he won?
Spread? Negative 99,000. Basically, to put this in perspective for those of you struggling, take an infant baby, newborn. They're fighting Conor McGregor. The odds that they give Conor McGregor are what Alabama had. No, there is no effing chance that there's an upset.
So, with a bet of $1,579, his return was $1.60. That's right. He risked $1,579 to win less than $2.
Yeah, but he made money, Miles.
But since he won his $1.60, and more importantly, he also gets his $1,579 back, I guess it worked out.
Yeah, I mean, do you have to pay taxes on your 160, or is that enough under
I would think that hopefully it's capped.
I just think it's key who they're playing that weekend. Maybe Saban and those guys will ease up on the students not showing up.
Right.
You know,
you're playing Louisiana Lafayette.
Saban, and I'm angry about whatever.
Because somehow this is on our schedule.
Yeah, I'm tired of people scheduling football games for us to play. He's just pissed off about everything.
Yeah, I don't know what he's so bitter about.
He's bitter about everything.
You got a cush job, easy recruit. All you have to do is not F it up. Like your job, just don't F up when anybody can coach right now.
That's it.
No offense to the guy, but come on. As far as money goes, depending on whether or not, oh, hell, you lost it, found it, stole it, made it, or spent it. Couple of comments. My ex-husband lost $600,000 in the stock market. All in one go. Wow. That's a heavy day.
Wow.
And I enjoy this one. This is someone who I feel like we might drink with at the airport, just based on the tone of the comment. I won $5,000 on the 25-cent Keno slot machine when I was 19. Spent most of it on Coke and given it back to the same casino. I regret nothing. I don't care. I regret nothing.
The first time I went to Vegas, I won some money. I learned how to play craps.
Yeah.
And I won, I think, like $300 or $400. Went straight to a strip club and spent it all.
Yeah, why not? Celebrate.
Yeah.
Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Chelsea. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Good. So,
sounds like you need some chocolate.
Somebody get her a doctor. Yeah. Get some chocolate. No, they call me Dr. Chocolate. Somebody paid you Dr. Chocolate. Because I'm here for you.
Oh, my God.
Please continue.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, one time in high school, my mom gave me her credit card to use for food or whatever, and then she eventually had forgotten that she'd given it to me.
How is that possible? How is that possible?
Is your mom a drunk?
Not really.
Drug addict?
Not really.
Not really.
This is amazing to me, then.
I mean, like, if I handed my child my credit card, I would be so aware that they have it.
Even if I was hammered, I'd be like, all right, look, man, I'm going to give this to you because I am drunk, but
I don't care if my kid just wanted to look at my name on the credit card and put it back. For those 10 seconds, I am very aware.
6:30 when the alarm goes off, I just sit up straight going, credit card! Where's my credit card? Yeah, great.
Dr. Chocolate's little boy's credit card.
Is your mom all together?
Now, yes. Yeah, she's very together now, yeah.
Was she together then?
I would say she was.
Okay.
Yeah, I would say she was, but she was dating a new guy, so she was very preoccupied at the time.
Yeah. Get some of that Dr. Chocolate.
So basically what had happened was she had given me her credit card and she had gone out of town or something, and me and my friends were like, yeah, we're just going to order food. We're going to do all this stuff. And so we ordered food like every night.
All right, what did you get?
Wait, how long was your mother out of town?
2 weeks.
Oh, so she was like in Mexico with her new boyfriend or something, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
All right, okay.
Yeah.
Getting some Sunny D, Miles.
So the idea is that the credit card is to pay for your expenses. Okay, what kind of food did you get? What'd you order?
So we ordered.
Because you're in high school. You said you're in high school. All right, okay.
Yeah, I'm 16 or 17. We ordered pizza from the same place every day, a Monty's, and
hey, look, they used to have men's room red on the tab. I don't know if they still do or not, but every Monty's I ever walked in had it. So
remember, kids, if you can grip your parents' credit card, a Monty's.
They have men's room red.
Eat pizza every night.
Right. Yeah.
But so here's the other thing is that there was this smoke shop in town that would sell like smoke products to, let's say that they probably wouldn't want me to say that, but they would sell things to kids that who.
But hi, Terry, it smokes a lot on 99 and. All right, so you got some smokes too.
So basically, what happened was me and my friends ended up buying lots of bongs and stuff.
No, tobacco water pipes. Tobacco water pipes. Very important that you say bong in spite of the fact you're looking at a bong.
In the store, you can't say that.
So when we bought them, yes, we bought water pipes. You're right. We bought lots of water pipes and smoking products
for your tobacco.
Yes, and basically we bought a lot of that stuff because what
was the total? What would you ring up?
Easily.
What was your total? What was your total on the credit card?
So my mom remembered that she had given me the credit card when I maxed it.
Yeah, that's the time most people notice.
Reminder.
And what did you max it at?
Oh, gosh, I don't even know. Probably at least a couple thousand.
All right, a couple thousand in 2 weeks.
Pizza and bongs.
All right.
It was a couple thousand on pizza and bongs.
Well, that's what she needs to know.
I mean, that's right.
Look, Mom, you're gone.
I mean, I guess if there's a bright side, as a parent, you have these dueling things. Like, all right, my kid maxed out my credit card, I'm going to kill him. But then when you look at the bill, you're like, honest to God, all they did was eat and smoke weed.
Well, plus
and
it adds
nothing
up.
else.
If you buy that many bongs, you're going to buy that much pizza.
Sure. And not only that, but look, man, if you're going to leave your high school kid at home, if you went to Mexico for a week, all right, expect them to spend some money and to get into a little debauchery.
Sure.
But if you're going to go for 2 weeks, you got to know what's coming to you. I mean, especially if you're leaving a high school kid alone for 2 weeks while you go to Mexico, you're like, look, man, my mom's in Mexico. So I'm going to do whatever the hell I want.
Of course.
I mean,
of course. I don't care how good you think your kid is. They're going to do it. But one way to minimize the damage, I based this on her story and how I was when my parents left for a few weeks. You got to give them money to eat and all that. You want to leave cash because it limits
the amount of
their buddies.
Right.
Their buddies can chip in and buy the kegs and the stuff that will still happen in your home. But the difference is, instead of having your credit card maxed out and having to get used condoms from under your goddamn bed, like, look, man, just you have a max amount of dollars. That's it. They're gonna blow it. You know they will. I don't care what you buy with it because you can't buy more than that.
I will say though, as a teenager, my mom would do that once in a while if she took like a trip or whatever to save cash. That's when you become great at math because it's like, how much pizza can we get for this $40?
So your mom would give you the credit card when she left?
No, cash.
Oh, cash.
That's what I'm saying. You had to be good at math because if it was like me and two buddies, like, all right, how much stuff can we
get? All you have to do to my kids would struggle with math when they're a little bit younger. Then they'd want a Lego set, and I said, I will spend X amount. And then as they're flipping through catalogs, looking, it was amazing how all of a sudden they could do it, and we would have $3.79 left. Hey, you want to figure in the sales tax? Like, wait a minute. You can't do your math homework, but when you want to buy Legos, and I've given you a limit, now all of a sudden they can break it down.
What's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spend money? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Kevin. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello there.
Hola.
Liquor and whores.
Liquor and whores.
All right, so I was a bad kid. 11 years old. I stole some money from my grandparents.
How much?
$250.
Damn. What did you find it in a drawer or something?
Oh, I'm awfully glad you asked me that question because, it wasn't like I went rifling through my grandma's purse or my grandfather's wallet. They're from a bygone era, and they had some pretty cool stuff. And one of the things they had was this really cool photo carousel on their dresser in their bedroom. And occasionally I'd have to use their bathroom in their bedroom because one of my two aunts would be in the other bathroom for like an hour or two trying to curl their hair all Farrah Fawcett style, right? So to get to the point here, that little photo carousel was basically three pieces. It was the base, and then it had a square, little spinny thing on it, and the cap consisted of a clear cube with a big what would you call it? It's like I guess it's a sponge. It's a big square sponge inside that kind of holds the photos at the very end. Yeah, you get it. And so there was a hollowed out center of that thing, and they had that thing stuffed with like hundreds and 50s. Or, 20s and 50s.
But how did you discover this if you weren't snooping? Because as I remember a photo carousel, it's just a bunch of pictures. I spin it, and it's just more photos.
Yeah, and so, being an 11-year-old kid, I was sitting there spinning the thing, and I guess I got to a point where I was a little bored, so I tried to see if I could spin it a little faster, and spin it a little faster, and then the thing, basically crashed, right, and it fell open. And when it fell open, I had to figure out how to put it back together, so I put it back on the dresser, and I grabbed the top from the floor, and I look in it, and I see money, rolled up in the center. I'm like, oh, what is that? And so I didn't take it right away, okay? I didn't take it right away. I cased it, right? I watched it, and every now and again, I'd stare at the thing knowing there's money in there, and then one day, I just grabbed the money.
Did you ever get caught?
Oh yeah. My grandfather, he didn't miss a trick, man. My grandfather knew, and I denied it. And I kept denying it because basically they couldn't prove it. And to this day, I regret that part of it. But I got some really cool stuff. It was around Christmas time, so I bought myself a couple of really cool Christmas gifts.
I like how you do that, man. To this day, I regret it. I got some awesome Christmas gifts.
I held true to my belief in stealing it and not giving the money back, and I bought what I wanted for Christmas, and I don't feel guilty about it at all. And my granddad's dead now.
I still have that Nintendo.
I don't even feel guilty about that. Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999. Hold on, more your calls coming up. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
The doorstop that a Michigan man had been using since 1988 has turned out to be a meteorite. The man who has asked to remain anonymous knew the 22-pound rock came from outer space ever since he bought the house in 1988. The previous owner showed him around the property at the time and said the meteorite arrived on the farm during a meteor shower back in the 1930s. Neither man, though, figured the meteorite was worth much money, so it just sat there, sometimes holding a door open every once in a while. But earlier this year, the man heard about people selling small pieces of meteorites for substantial sums of money. I said, wait a minute, I wonder how much mine is worth. The man then decided to take his rock to Mona Serbescu, a geology facility member.
That's the person. Look, if you got a meteorite,
Mona knows.
Right, that's the person.
And, of course, you're going to Central Michigan University at the Atmospheric Science Building.
I got the Atmospheric Science Building.
Yeah.
Central Michigan?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Is that the Chippewas?
Of course. I can tell right away.
So, yes.
And the mascot is. I can tell right away that this was something special, she said, noting that it's the 6th largest meteorite ever found in the state of Michigan.
Damn.
It's the most valuable specimen I've ever held in my life, monetarily and scientifically, she said. Bless you. The meteorite is not sold yet, but the Smithsonian Museum is considered buying it as well as another collector. Pieces of it may also be cut off for research purposes. Ted, any idea what the 22-pound rock that was used as a doorstop is worth?
It's a meteorite?
It's a meteorite.
That's correct.
Mm-hmm. It's the 6th largest in Michigan.
Yeah.
Took it to the home of the Chippewas.
$75,000.
Wow, not bad. $100,000.
All right.
Yeah, you did fine and you didn't overbid. Our question
Ted knows
today:
the space rocks.
Money. What's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999-OLA.
Mouse, I'm into space rocks.
No wonder you're never hungry.
Dropped a lot of weight, man.
I know.
Here is a comment that came in. It says, I got broken up with on Valentine's Day about 5 years ago. I decided to go to the casino and gamble the $50 in cash I had, and after one max bet, I ended up hitting a jackpot for $5,000. Ironically enough, my ex was also at the casino at the time, and she watched me win that $5,000.
As I danced and danced and danced.
She was instantly apologetic, wanted to get back together after breaking up with me roughly 6 hours before that. I told her to F off, and I spent the $5,000 on a new ATV.
Nice.
Romance. Hello, Jaden. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How we doing, gentlemen?
Doing well, sir. How are you?
Just living the dream, you know. Just got done listening to the greatest podcast on the land.
All the land.
Good.
There it is. All right, so my money spending story. A couple years ago, I thought I'd be doing the right thing. Go buy my girlfriend makeup because she was on the list. So I walked into the makeup store, and whenever like makeup chicks that work there see dudes walking in, they prey on you. They're like, "Oh, this guy doesn't know anything."
Of course, because you don't.
Yeah, so I walk in, the lady comes up to me and is like, "Hey, how can I help you?" And I told her my phone that the list of the makeup was on. I was like, "I need some of this." And she's like, "Absolutely, stay right here." I was like, "Okay, cool." She goes around, gets all the stuff, hands me a little bag, not very big. I was like, "All right, cool." And then, so I'm in line, and I see this little sponge, right? Little makeup sponge, or I don't know what the hell it was for, but she asked for it. Threw the bag, I was like, boom, extra points, I know she wanted it. So then, I get to the counter, and she rings up the thing, and so it's six total, pieces. Total is like $398, something like that. Almost $400 for 6 things of makeup.
Right, man.
Mm-hmm. So that was the first time I've ever felt like the punch in the stomach from price. Like I almost went to a knee.
Yeah, I bet you did. I had no idea it was that expensive either. I'm glad I've never fallen for this trick. Did you end up buying it? Did you end up getting it anyway?
Yeah, there was a big line behind me, and everybody was kind of pissed off. So I was like, crap, I'll get it.
All right.
And you still with the same girl?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Okay, well, there's something.
You know, that's
all right.
one.
So she still has the makeup and the brushes and stuff like that. So it makes you feel a little nice about it, but still.
Hey, there's, a relationship.
I didn't want to spend.
Yeah, but that's one that, it's not like a dog where you just lose it. You just get to use it for.
Yeah, but you got to enjoy the dog.
Right, exactly.
Like the makeup, that's one thing. As a dude, we just have no idea exactly how expensive things are. Because there's like whatever a woman has, there's the male equivalent, whatever it might be. And somehow, everything's marked up about 500% more than a dude would pay for the equivalent there. It doesn't matter if it's shoes, if it is pants, if it is shirts, if it's underwear, you name it. Like, could you go and be like, sure, baby, yeah, I'll pick this. How bad could it be? Don't ever ask that question because the answer is more significant than you will ever know.
Yeah, and just remember this. You know that couple when the woman gets the breasts.
Yeah,
and he might pay for some of that action.
Yeah, you're going to see him,
and then you're at the bar, and they will inevitably come up and say, "Hey, would you like to see my wife's or girlfriend's new breasts?" And you say always, no, absolutely not. We're in a public place. Like, no, this is like Cheesecake Factory. I don't think that's appropriate.
Hey, Laura, hey, man, show me your new boobs.
I mean, look, Becky's got them. Show them.
Yeah, they're going to. They're going to be broken up in about 4 months.
Of course, so you know that. You keep showing everyone the boobs.
I've seen this movie,
dude. I told you a guy I knew that did that, and he was like, "You want to see him?" We were like outside, and I was like, "Sure." And then later, it got weird.
Yeah, of course it did.
It got weird. Well, showed him
like he. I don't know. Like, he wanted to fight me. It's like, you were the one that showed him.
Oh, no. Like, Chad, like, I saw his eyes, and they got real wide, and then he started to drool, and now I'm angry.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, what do you want me to tell you?
He put his hands out like he wanted to touch them.
If you want to make them uncomfortable and say, hey, you want to see the new boobs? Like, Saw the old ones, bro.
Exactly. I thought they were just fine.
This conversation just got awkward for you, my friend. Dr. Chocolate's in the house. Dr. Chocolate's on the old one. Yeah.
Money.
Yeah.
What's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999-OLA.
I feel like I'd say that like through my hands above my face.
Oh, yeah. Cover your face before you say it.
I saw the old ones play up.
You add player.
Zap.
I'm real tough. Just don't hit me.
Hello, Kale. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola, bichola.
Hola. Kale is in the vegetable.
Yeah, just like the vegetable.
Okay.
First of all, no.
That's exciting. You had a little moment of popularity there for a while.
No, kale like the decoration. Kale is just supposed to be for Pizza Hut salad bars or something. You can eat it too. You can eat a dirty diaper.
No, then the resistance happened and kale became something that people tried to chew.
Well, so basically, every time I say my name is Kale, the next thing everybody says is like the vegetable.
Right. Well, chicks dig you a lot.
But what else would it be like? I mean, like the vegetable? No, like the other kale that came to mind.
Like the Ivy League school.
What other kale?
Like the Ivy League school that has the shirts that say kale. Get it?
Hey, Kale, are you a teacher?
No, I'm not. I'm actually a winemaker.
All right,
Get
just
outta
checking.
here. All right, cool.
Winemaker.
I used to go to
still-
festivals with the kale.
You still, instead of using a bladder press, you just stomp the grapes with your feet?
He makes it in the toilet,
No,
Miles. He's in
We
jail.
absolutely use bladder presses. It would take way too long to stomp everything.
Could we make some stomp wine? Is that possible? Could we come to your place and just stomp some wine? Then,
Yeah, you definitely could. It's not that fun, and it's pretty cold, and it takes a while, but you're welcome to.
I might like to stomp a bottle down. You know what I mean?
There you go.
Serious.
We can figure it out.
All right.
Instead of soju, we'll call it toju.
You want to eat my foot wine?
Sorry, what's that?
I said, you want to eat my foot wine?
No, I won't drink it.
Okay.
You can have it, though.
All right.
Anyways, just a little bit of backstory. Basically, when I was 17, I was a ward of the state. I was a foster kid my whole life, and I was kind of in a situation where I didn't really want to stay there anymore, and I got a job, and it was in Texas, but I lived here in Washington, and the guy sent me a bus ticket, and it was for my buddy and I to take a Greyhound across the country, and he sent like $100 to my buddy to pay for like food and whatever on the way there, but my buddy wasn't giving any of it to me, so I basically had $0 in my pocket. Anyways, we get on the bus, and we're riding all night to California, and it's probably 5 o'clock in the morning, and I keep feeling crap underneath my feet, and it's a Greyhound bus, so I'm just thinking it's trash. Anyways, eventually I look down, and it's a wallet, and I pick it up, and I'm a nice guy. I'm 17, and I look in it. I don't even look if there's money. I just look in it to see whose it is, and there's an ID in there, but it's not really an ID. It's like a Blockbuster card. Like, it's nothing official, but either way, it's a black guy. And I look around, and there's not a black person on this bus. So I'm like, well, we'll get to Sacramento. And
I don't think I've ever heard that statement before. There's not a black person on the bus.
California.
What the hell?
Anyways,
I'm moving there. That's where I'm going.
we get to Sacramento, and it's like 6:30 in the morning, and right when the bus stops, the bus driver's like, hey, there was a shooting in the middle of the night on a Greyhound bus. Everyone's got to get the hell off right now. We're going on strike. Literally grab your stuff and run off the bus. And so it's like a mad scene. Everybody's running off the bus. And all of a sudden in the madness, the grimiest guy on the bus, who's been like bumming cigarettes from everybody the whole way, white guy, is like, where's my wallet? Anyways, in the madness, everyone's just pushing everybody off the bus. We get off the bus. I'm kind of looking for the guy, but I'm like, he obviously stole this. Like, should I give it to him? I don't really know. Anyways, we get into the bus station, and there's all this madness, and it kind of calms down. I eventually end up looking at it, and there's $250 in there.
So you got to eat?
Basically, I had 80 more hours on a Greyhound bus going all the way to Houston, Texas, and yeah, it saved my ass.
What I learned here is that a black man went hungry and couldn't watch movies.
There was none on there. Like I
got a late return.
He already got off a Greyhound bus. No movies to watch. No money to do anything about.
He was not kind. He did not rewind.
I don't know. I mean, I felt bad, but I definitely survived the trip only because of it.
Kale, I'm with you. The other guy clearly stole it.
Yeah, I mean, at that point, you're like, a Blockbuster card and $250.
So lucky. Like, we can rent a movie.
Sweet.
For those of you that don't recognize that, a Blockbuster card was a card you needed to rent a movie from a store
that had movies.
Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Jonah. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How's it going, guys?
Not as good as yesterday, but okay.
All right. So, my story takes place in Germany.
Yeah.
I was out at a festival, and I was 16 at the time, and I had put my wallet and stuff in my backpack because I didn't want somebody to potentially pickpocket me. And little did I know, there was a hole in the side of my backpack, and my wallet ended up falling out of this hole.
Are you a black dude that has a membership to Blockbuster?
No.
Okay.
No, not quite. And there was like 300 euros in it at the time. Never saw my wallet the whole time I was there. After I left there, because as I was leaving, I went to get food and go to get my wallet out, and was like, oh, that's not good. And started retracing my steps everywhere. Never found it. Was in Germany for 2 more weeks. Got home a few months later, get a package in the mail, and my wallet was in this package.
With the money?
No.
Of course not. But, we don't want your ID. We want your cash.
Yeah.
I mean, if somebody's going to mug you, they're like, just give me your ID. Keep your money in your credit cards.
I guess your passport wasn't in there.
No, it was my ID, a few debit cards.
Yeah, I think the passport is the worst thing that you could possibly lose.
Oh, sure.
That's the one. If you lose that one, then you're probably there for 3 or 4 more.
But I mean, even if you go to the consulate, right? You're like, hey, man, it is obviously me. They can you say your name. They can pull up the info. They're looking at the picture that they would accept if it's in a passport. But at the moment, it's on a computer screen, and they're still looking at you. Now they're not sure about this picture. Mm-hmm. Like, so wait, how does this work? If it's in a passport, this picture's cool. If you're looking at the exact picture that you told me you accept as this federal identification, now we're unclear about it.
Scan artists.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Toothless Dawn. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola.
Hola.
How are you guys?
We're doing great. How are you, Don?
I'm hanging in there today.
Okay.
How are we? We're busy eating apples. Corn on the cob.
Applesauce Friday, Don?
Huh?
Applesauce Friday?
Oh, of course. Every day is applesauce Friday.
Every day. Applesauce Friday.
Every days with some without, you know?
Yeah, I know.
Anyway. Yeah, so I bought this late 80s Corolla one time. It had a bad transmission. It would slip once it warmed up. And I bought it for like $350. And a day later, it got stolen. Imagine that. And your car got stolen from. Anyway, comes out a week later, I get a call from the Linwood police that they found the people that were shoplifting in the store that had stole the car. And they called me to come pick it up. And in the door pocket is a receipt for a brand new transmission. Well, the transmission would have been $2,400, but with the shop charges, it was about $3,000.
So they'd already paid to get the transmission fixed?
Yeah, I guess they used a stolen credit card to get the transmission fixed.
Yeah, but it still works in your favor, right?
So you mean you got your car back and you got a new transmission?
Yeah, well, I sold the car.
All right.
That's what we call a positive theft story.
That's outstanding. Yeah. I'm glad they stole your car.
Yeah, that's the one time, that I was glad they stole the car.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, there's a silver lining.
There's a positive
story.
Yeah, positive car stealing story.
That's the one you share with the kids, right?
It really is. Same thing. And it came back and it's all repaired.
I know.
Brand new tires. The whole deal. Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? More of your calls on the way, as well as Ted versus the FCC and the bad jokes. That's all coming up next. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
Hola, bitches. You're listening to the Men's Room.
An Indiana couple are more than $700,000 richer thanks to a mistake that left them with the wrong type of lottery tickets. Herbie Shehorn said he intended to buy $10 worth of Mega Millions tickets from the Quick Stop store, but he realized after he'd arrived home, he mistakenly bought $10 worth of tickets for the Cash 5 drawing. Uh-oh. The mistake, which Shehorn said might have been due to his own misspeaking to the clerk, caused the player and his wife, Corey, to win $703,000 before taxes. The next morning, I went in and said, I'm sure you're glad that you screwed up. Shehorn said he was returning to the store the next day. The couple said they planned to use the money to renovate their home.
Okay.
Very nice.
And buy drugs.
Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent it? 844-999-OLA.
Hello, Mike. Welcome to the men's room.
Hola!
Hola!
So, there's a skating rink that I used to go to in Puyallup called Tiffany's back when I was a kid. And I was about 12 years old, and I was with my buddy. And you remember back in the late 70s, early 80s, people used to wear those big pom-poms on their skates.
Of course.
And so we were walking out of the parking lot, and we were going to run over across the street to they had a Shakey's over there, pizza place, where some of the kids would go. And we're running across the parking lot. We find two of these pom-poms on the ground. And so we pick them up, and we're feeling them. They're kind of heavy, and we started to open up where they tie, and they were packed full of money. There was 5s and 10s and 20s. I mean, packed full of money. And so we're just thinking we hit the lottery, man. We're saying, what are you going to spend it on? What are you going to buy? You know, and all of a sudden this lowered black Monte Carlo pulls up next to us. The window comes down, and this guy points a gun out the window and goes, those are ours. And I said, yes, they are. And I walked over.
Oh, give me a 5 spot for finding them. Come on, man. I want to go over to Shakey's.
You didn't break out finders, keepers, losers,
yeah,
weepers?
Exactly. Nothing like that.
Yeah.
That normally wins it.
We ended up booking, man. We took off as fast as we could go.
You should at least got a pinky swear that it was really his. You know what I mean? Before you gave it back.
I know, sure.
Yeah.
If a black Monte Carlo rolls up because they want some pom-poms, there's a good chance they know what's in the pom-poms. Now,
well, they knew.
Do you have to physically hand it to them, or do you just put it back down on the ground?
I actually I felt like I was about ready to wet my pants, but I figured if I dropped them on the ground, that might piss them off. So I just walked over and gingerly dropped them in the window.
Yeah.
That's
you know, man,
I think that's a good move.
Yeah. Okay. I don't know what you guys, I've always liked the Monte Carlo, liked the way it looked.
Sure.
But growing up in West Virginia, it's just a stereotype, but it's true. At least it was there. The guys who drove Monte Carlo, although they look cool, you know what I mean? They were the shadiest dudes in town.
Guaranteed.
I mean, and I don't mean shady in all kinds of different ways. Like the guy who worked at the Stereo Center. He was you name it.
Yeah, it was a calling card to let you know, like, hey, man, I can get whatever kind of contraband you need. I at least have my finger on the pulse of it, right? You can be like, hey, man, I want exotic animals. Well, talk to the guy in the Monte Carlo. I want drugs. Talk to the guy in the Monte Carlo. I need counterfeit money and fake passport.
Speakers.
Talk to the guy in the anything you need that no one can know about legally, talk to the guy in the Monte Carlo.
Because it's a 2-door. So if you were like a family guy, it'd be a 4-door. This guy's just one of those guys. He's a guy.
He needs a little extra space.
He's a guy. That guy.
Monte Carlo might have been like one of the original ones with a spoiler, too.
May have been, man. Yeah, you're right. All those dudes, they always looked really cool. And as much as a little kid, you're like, man, I hope I look like that one day. Your parents, very subtly like, that's just Eddie.
He's the 40-year-old guy in the club on a Friday night, sipping on, apple juice. Money, what's the story of the time you lost, found, stole, made, or spent at 844-999-OLA?
Hello, Aaron. Welcome to the men's room.
Hello.
Hola.
So I have a cold, sorry. But anyway,
I knew it, man. She sounds like crap.
I know, she sounds like garbage.
With a cold?
Don't put your voicemail message on your phone right now, okay?
Oh, don't worry about
I'm
that.
sorry, I cannot take your call right now.
Take your call right now. I sound like an old lady named Doris. So
I'm going to breathe heavy as I eat.
We prefer Phyllis.
Phyllis. So anyway, last Christmas, a couple weeks before last Christmas, my man works a ton of hours, and he will work so many hours before Christmas to save up money for his kids. He's like the best dad in the world.
Nice.
And the best partner in the world. But that being said, he'd just gotten off working like 18 hours straight. He's a general contractor, and he was working on this project in one of the shadiest parts of South Seattle. Shady to the point where it's basically just littered with junkies and homeless people, and it's just a wreck. It was just a mess. It was on a commercial job. Anyway, he's on his way home. He's getting gas. It's like 12:30 in the morning. Goes back to his car, puts his coffee and his wallet on top of the car, They just had got paid, had all the money in there for the kids' Christmas presents, all of it, cash. And he drives off because he's exhausted and left a wallet on top of the car. He doesn't realize it until he gets back home, and at the time you live in Bellevue, right? So he gets home and he's like, "Oh my God, I cannot believe it."
Tell me he found that wallet. Did he find it?
Tell you. So we go back.
Hold on for 1 second. We're going to do a little station identification. We want to find out that.
Hola! The shenanigans continue on the Men's Room Radio Network.
I'm Sparkly.
I'm Bubbly.
And together, we're Mineragua.
The fresh, sparkling water for those who are bubbling over with life
and crave new experiences.
Are you thirsty for adventure, more laughs, and more excitement?
With Mineragua in hand, it's easy to live life with sparkle.
Just look for the glass bottles with tiny bubbles wrapped in blue.
And you'll taste and feel the difference of Mineragua sparkling water.
Mineragua, get your fizz.